some readings of the majority opinion and the dissent, and lo and behold, I was surprised. The vote was
6-3.
Oh my God, something's happened there. Okay, Michael, you want to come up and read the? You can't. Okay. All right. Well, Sherry, you want to come up and read the majority opinion?
Come on, Sherry.
Maybe you can read both.
I'd rather read the dissent.
So do the bracket.
All right.
Both.
Justice Gorsuch
Go.
delivered the opinion of the court. Many cities across the American West face a homelessness crisis. If adopted, certain restrictions against encampments on public property. The Ninth Circuit, however, held that the Eighth Amendment's cruel and unusual punishments clause barred that last measure. With support from states and cities across the country, Grants Pass urged this court to review the Ninth Circuit's decision. We take up that task now. Homelessness is complex. Its causes are many. So may be the public policy responses required to address it. At bottom, the question this case presents is whether the Eighth Amendment grants federal judges primary responsibility for assessing those causes and devising those responses. It does not. Yes, people will disagree over which policy responses are best. They may experiment with one set of approaches, only to find later another set works better. They may find certain responses more appropriate for some communities than others. But in our democracy, that is their right. Nor can a handful of federal judges begin to, quote, match the collective wisdom the American people possess in deciding, quote, how best to handle a pressing social question like homelessness.
And so now, what they're trying to do is to kind of take the position that we're just judges, let the people decide, which is basically saying, let the local government, not the people, decide, because most people would want to help the homeless. Sometimes the local governments, they don't want to do that because of the cost involved or the fact that they haven't been able to figure out where's the adequate housing. They didn't plan adequate housing, and especially affordable. So Sotomayor, she's really becoming a hero in Neon more and more. So I need someone. Do you want to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay. Just read the dissent, and you'll see the difference, especially when she talks about they're just judges. So just read the bracketed stuff for her.
Sleep is a biological necessity, not a crime. For some people, sleeping outside is their only option. The city of Grants Pass jails and fines those people for sleeping anywhere in public at any time, including in their cars, if they use as little as a blanket to keep warm or a rolled up shirt as a pillow. For people with no access to shelter, that punishes them for being homeless.
Will do.
That is unconscionable and unconstitutional. Punishing people for their status is cruel and unusual under the Eighth Amendment.
Okay, wait.
Here.
So what they did is they would give people civil fines. I think it was like $275, and went up to $550, even though they had no money. And after the second time, if they were still out there, and again, they had no place to sleep in that particular town, they could go to jail for 30 days. So,
for $1,000 a day for us.
Exactly.
So see how she takes on their argument about we're just judges and we got to leave it to the local government.
Do the whole paragraph?
Yeah, the whole paragraph. She's great.
Homelessness in America is a complex and heartbreaking crisis. People experiencing homelessness face immense challenges, as do local and state governments. Especially in the face of these challenges, this court has an obligation to apply the Constitution faithfully and even-handedly. The Eighth Amendment prohibits punishing homelessness by criminalizing sleeping outside when an individual has nowhere else to go. It is cruel and unusual to apply any penalty, quote, selectively to minorities whose numbers are few, who are outcasts of society, and who are unpopular, but whom society is willing to see suffer through it, would not countenance general application of the same penalty across the board, unquote, Furman versus Georgia.
I need someone to finish the line. This is the optimism.
This is Douglas J. concurring. I remain hopeful that our society will come together to address the complexities of the homelessness challenge facing the most vulnerable among us, ante 1834. That responsibility is shared by those vulnerable populations, the states and cities in which they reside, and each and every one of us. It is only after we begin to see that we begin to see a street as our street, a public park as our park, a school as our school, that we can become engaged citizens, dedicating our time and resources to worthwhile causes. M. Desmond, Evicted, Property and Profit in the American City. This court has a role to play in faithfully enforcing the Constitution to prohibit punishing the very existence of those without shelter. I remain hopeful that someday in the near future, this court will play its role in safeguarding constitutional liberties for the most vulnerable among us. Because today, the court abdicates that role. I respectfully dissent.
I dissent!
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Okay, so